I am Katie, and this is my daughter Sophia and my son Aiden, and this is our puppy Oliver. He just turned 1 year on June 16th, and it was the very next day that he first got sick. I had actually worked a night shift, so I got home around 4:30 in the morning, and within about 20 minutes of me getting home, he had started throwing up bright blue. She had made a batch of homemade Play-Doh the day before, and he had eaten the whole batch. It actually ended up being a blessing in disguise because when we took him to the vet, they originally thought it was salt toxicity, and then when he didn't respond to the treatment, they started looking at the bigger picture and realized he had gotten bitten by a nest of ants, and his body had spent the last 2 weeks fighting off infection. And when he got the salt, and it just couldn't anymore, and when he got the salt poisoning, that allowed the infection to come forward and us to see it so that we could treat it. But at that point, it had basically exploded in his body, and the first 24 hours they pulled almost 2 liters of pus out of his chest. They had he had a chest tube for 6 days. They actually called us. They did surgery on a Friday morning, and they said, "Oh, he did great, it's going to be amazing." And then they called me 2 hours later and said, "We need to have a quality of life conversation," because they didn't realize how bad the infection had gotten until they got in to do surgery. That was one of the hardest conversations of my adult life, was trying to tell my kid, trying to explain how we've done all of this and it still might not work. They didn't understand. We did everything right. We did everything we were supposed to do. Why didn't it work? We had done 2 outpatient sessions where they didn't keep him overnight, and each of those had hit $600. So before he even got admitted, we were already at almost a $1,200 bill. And then they came at us with another $4,000. And like I had already maxed out care credit. I had already, like, we had done everything we could. They pulled 500 milliliters one session. 3 hours later, they pulled another 400, and then 300, and every time it reduced until within 2 days they were only getting maybe 10 milliliters at a time out of him. And then 5 days later, he was home and crazy puppy, and all he has to show for it is random shaved spots and some scabs, and he's full activity, full regular meals. He's allowed to pretty much do anything, and all we have is about a month of antibiotics. The surgery would not have been an option had it not been for Vet Fund. If they had not helped us, it was just not something we could have done. I work in public safety. I'm a single mom. I work shift work, so every penny counts in our family, and as much as he is a part of our family, there are limits, and we had hit ours. So thank you, Vet Fund.